Welcome to AI Book Highlights.
Hey there.
Today we're getting into a book that, well, you hear about it constantly in screenwriting circles. Blake Snyder's Save the Cat.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely one of those foundational texts recommended by, actual working writers and producers.
Right. And our aim today is to kind of pull out the core ideas Snyder presents for making stories that, well, work. Stories that connect with people.
And also connect with the business side of things, right? Because that's a big part of his focus, balancing that creative vision with commercial reality, thinking like the folks at successful production companies.
Okay, let's dive right in. Highlight number 1. It's all about knowing what's it about. The logline.
He calls it the Infernal premise, which is a great name.
It is.
And the idea is simple but hard. Boil your entire movie down to one single sentence.
Just one sentence. And he says it needs 4 specific things to really work, to be a sure sell.
Yeah, 4 key ingredients. First, irony, some kind of twist or contradiction. Second, a compelling mental image, something you can instantly picture.
Makes sense.
Third, it should give a sense of the audience and, importantly, the likely cost or scale of the film.
Right, practical stuff.
And fourth, just a killer title that fits.
He uses that great example from David Permute for Blind Date. You remember that one?
Oh, yeah. It's the perfect woman.
Until she has one drink. Boom.
Exactly. You get the irony, you get the visual, you immediately sense it's a comedy, probably not a massive budget, it just works.
Totally. And that ability to just nail down what your story is right at the start seems crucial. It's the foundation.
Absolutely. It forces you to clarify your own idea before you even write page 1.
Okay, moving on to highlight 2. Genre. Snyder's big on genre.
Yeah, his mantra here is give me the same, but different.
Huh? I like that.
His argument is that pretty much all movies fit into one of 10 basic genre types he lays out.
10 specific types.
Yeah.
Wow.
And understanding these isn't about, being stuck in a box. It's the opposite.
How so?
Well, knowing the genre helps you understand what the audience is expecting. What are the typical conventions, the tropes?
Right, the kind of things people associate with, say, a horror movie versus a rom-com.
Exactly. So you know the rules of that genre, and then you can figure out how to deliver on those expectations in a fresh way. Or maybe even, cleverly subvert them.
So it's about understanding the blueprint before you start renovating.
Perfectly put. You got to know the form before you can break it effectively.
He talks about that monster in the house genre.
Yeah, which sounds simple, right? Like Alien or Jaws, but he traces it back to, the Minotaur myth.
Ancient stuff.
But then he shows how it gets reinvented. Think about Fatal Attraction.
Ah, okay. I see that.
Still got the monster, still got the house or confined space, the relationship, the home, but it's psychological. Same basic fear, totally different execution. Same, but different.
Got it. Okay. Third highlight. This is the one the book's named after. The Save the Cat moment.
Right. This is all about getting the audience on your main character side.
Even if the character isn't, conventionally good.
Especially then. That's the challenge, right? How do you make us root for someone who might be flawed or maybe does unlikable things later?
So what is this moment?
It's a scene, usually pretty early on, maybe in the first 10, 15 minutes, where the protagonist does something nice, something relatable, sympathetic.
Like literally saving a cat.
Could be. Or it could be something much smaller, just an action that shows a glimpse of their humanity, makes you think, okay, I see something decent in this person. It gets you invested.
He points to Pulp Fiction, which is a brilliant example.
Oh, yeah. Jules and Vincent.
They're hitmen. You shouldn't like them, technically.
But that conversation they have about McDonald's in France, the Royale with cheese.
It's hilarious and just normal.
Exactly. It makes them instantly human, relatable, even kind of charming. Despite their profession, you're suddenly on board with these guys. That's the power of a Save the Cat moment.
Finding that connection point. Okay. Highlight 4 gets into structure. The Blake Snyder beat sheet, or BS2.
Ah, yes, the famous BS2. This is probably Snyder's most well-known tool. And maybe the most debated.
Basically a template, right?
Yeah. It outlines 15 key story moments, or beats. And not just what they are, but roughly where they should happen in a standard screenplay, page number-wise.
15 beats.
Yeah.
Like opening image, theme stated.
Setup, catalyst, debate.
Okay.
Yeah, all the way through, break into 2, fun and games, midpoint.
Midpoint is a big one, isn't
They're
it?
huge. Snyder stresses its importance. It's often like a point of no return, could be a false high point where things seem great but aren't.
Or a real low point, the all is lost precursor.
Sort of, yeah, or just a major turning point where the goal changes or the stakes get massively raised. After the midpoint, the story shifts gears. Then you have beats like bad guys close in, all is lost, dark night of the soul.
Well, it's detailed.
It is. Break into three, finale, final image. It's a full roadmap. Now, some writers find it prescriptive, but for many, it's a lifesaver for pacing and ensuring, that the story moves.
A structural guidepost.
Exactly.
Okay, final highlight. Number 5, primary needs drive story.
This one feels really intuitive when you think about it. Snyder argues that the most compelling stories tap into fundamental, primal human desires.
What kind of desires are we talking about?
The basics: survival, hunger, sex, protecting your family, your loved ones, fear of death.
The really core stuff.
Yeah, the things that drive us deep down. When your protagonist's main goal connects to one of these primary needs, the audience gets it on a gut level. It makes the stakes feel real and urgent.
He mentions there's something about Mary.
Right, which is a broad comedy, but what's driving almost everyone in that movie?
Desire, romantic, sexual pursuit.
Pretty much. Even amidst all the slapstick and absurdity, the core motivation is this really basic human drive for connection, for sex, for love.
And that makes it relatable, even when the situations are crazy.
Totally. Grounding the want in something primal gives the story universal appeal.
Okay, so those are 5 big ideas in the book. Let's pivot to some actionable takeaways. What can you actually do with this stuff?
All right. Takeaway number 1. Test your idea with that infernal premise framework.
So try to write that one-sentence log line.
Yes. And make sure it hits those points. Irony. A strong visual. Can you do it if you're struggling? That tells you something.
That the core idea might need more work.
Exactly. It's a clarifying exercise. If you can't pitch it simply and compellingly in one sentence, how are you going to write a whole script? It really sharpens your focus on the concept and its marketability.
Good point. Okay, takeaway number 2.
Understand and use genre. Figure out what your primary genre is.
Those 10 types he talks about.
Or even just broader genres. Research it. What are the common tropes, the audience expectations?
And then
Then think about how you can deliver those elements, but with your own unique spin. Same, but different, remember.
right. Don't just copy, innovate within the structure.
Precisely. Know the rules so you can play with them effectively. It's about being aware of the conversation your story is entering.
Makes sense. And the final takeaway.
Find your save the cat moment. Think about your protagonist, especially if they're complex or maybe not immediately likable.
How do you make us care?
Yeah. Where, early on, can you show a flash of their humanity? What small action can make the audience connect with them, sympathize with them, even just a little bit?
That moment that gets us on their side.
That's it. Identify it. Craft
Okay.
it carefully. It's about building that crucial emotional bridge between the audience and your main character right from the start.
Those are 3 really concrete things. Test the premise, use the genre, find the connection moment.
Yeah, they really distill some of Snyder's core practical advice.
So wrapping up these ideas from Save the Cat,
Yeah.
they really offer a practical toolkit, don't they?
Mhm.
For building stories that actually land.
Definitely. Whether you follow the beat sheet to the page or just use the concepts as guides, focusing on that clear premise, understanding genre, making your hero relatable, using structure, tapping into those primary needs, it all helps.
It boosts the odds of your story connecting.
Significantly, I'd argue. It's about understanding the craft and the audience.
Well, thank you for joining us for this look at Blake Snyder's Save the Cat. It's definitely packed with insights.
It really is worth reading directly.
Absolutely. If you want to go deeper into these techniques and really get into the nuts and bolts of Snyder's approach, we definitely recommend grabbing a copy of the book.
You won't regret it if you're serious about storytelling for the screen.
We've put a link in the description below for you. Thanks for listening to AI Book Highlights.